I have no idea how I missed this. I have no idea how I failed to notice that the Armageddon Steel Legion stuff is back in made-to-order form, and I also can't believe how much it costs. Oh dear God. I get it, this is a made-to-order run. They're not knocking these things out all over the shop. These have got to be produced specially for the people who want them. But that surely does not excuse the vast amount of money that's being asked for sculpts that are so old. Don't get me wrong, they don't look bad. I don't think these are bad models. I think they look pretty decent overall. They've aged relatively well. But no matter how well something ages, I just don't think that you should be paying £19 for a sergeant. I just don't see how 40 quid is worth it for an infantry squad. That's 10 dudes. These are old lads. They are in metal and there is nothing you can do in terms of customization. You just get the thing that you get and that's what you get. If you grabbed yourself 3 heavy weapon squads, an infantry squad and an officer with power sword and bolt pistol, you're looking at in excess of 120 quid, which even by the standards of Games Workshop is kind of insane. The pricing on the individual kits is made even worse when you look at the cost of this platoon. This platoon is 24 models. You've got a heavy weapon squad, you've got 20 infantry, and you've got an officer. Buying them separately would be nearly 160. I would suggest that out of everything they've got for this particular round of made-to-order, for this Steel Legion made-to-order, you are more sensible if you spend more than you actually wanted to and get this box as opposed to getting any of the others separately. If you don't want the heavy weapon squad, you just want 20 infantry and an officer, you're only spending £10 more to get something that would otherwise cost £67.50 if you decide to go on and add it later. And in fact, when you compare this bundle to, I don't know, a combat patrol maybe, specifically the Astra Militarum one, just as an example, whereby you get 20 infantry, you get a command squad, you get a sentinel, and 2 ordnance teams, the Steel Legion one doesn't look quite as bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still horrifically expensive. But it softens the blow a little bit when you look at the fact that you almost get as much as you would out of a combat patrol for only £15 more. Actually, having just said that out loud, I don't think I even agree with myself. Oh dear. Look, I can't tell people what to do with their money, I can't tell you what is and isn't valuable to you, but this just doesn't feel good to me. This kind of feels like you really want to complete that collection, you really want to add to that army, you're struggling to find these bits anywhere else, and then they show up made to order, limited time frame, you've only got a week or however long, and so you have to plump for buying these at really inflated prices for the material that they're made in and for the age of the sculpts themselves. It just doesn't feel great to me, you know? That being said, these have got a particular aesthetic, they have a particular look, and good alternatives are hard to find, and especially if you play primarily at a Games Workshop store, it's not even as though you can flood the table with alternatives because you won't be allowed to use them if that's where you primarily game. It feels like made to order should be one of those things where it's exciting when it comes up because it means access to stuff that is no longer in mass production, stuff that you can no longer just grab whenever you feel like, but that needs to be tempered with it also not being so horribly expensive that you can't compare it to anything else in the catalogue favourably, which is kind of how this looks right now. I can't look at this and go, you know what, that's not bad compared to, because it's bad compared to literally everything. Is it possible to get a better balance between limited runs and pricing? Probably. Is it likely to happen? Probably not. Do I wish that it would? Yes, 100%. All that being said, this is still a quality model, still a great sculpt. Am I going to be paying 19 quid for him? No, unfortunately not.